These are some sonnets by Gerard de Nerval. Ildes de Shadow. I am the tenebrous one, the disconsolate widower, the prince of Aquitaine at the abolished tower. My only star is dead, and my constellated lute bears the black sun of melancholia. In the night of the tomb, you who have consoled me, give me back Posillipo and the Italian sea, the flower that so pleased my desolate heart, and the trellis where the vine branch and the rose ally. Am I Amour or Phoebus, Lusignan or Biron? My brow is still red from the kiss of the queen. I have dreamed in the grotto where the siren swims, and twice victorious I have crossed Acheron, varying turn by turn on the lyre of Orpheus, the sighs of the female saint and the cries of the fairy. Horus. The god Kneph, trembling, jerked the universe. Isis, the mother, sat up then on her couch, made a gesture of hate towards her savage spouse, and a former ardour shone in her green eyes. Look at him, she said, this old pervert is dying. All the frosts of the world have passed through his mouth. Tie up his club foot, put out his lazy eye. He is the god of volcanoes and the winter king. The eagle has passed already. The new spirit calls me. For him I have put on the robe of Cybele. He is the well-loved child of Hermes and Osiris. The goddess had absconded on her gilded shell. The sea sent back to us her worshipped image, and the skies were shining under the sash of iris. Delphica. Do you know it, Daphne, that old romance? At the foot of the sycamore, or under the white laurels, under the olive tree, the myrtle, or the trembling willows, that song of love, which is always beginning again. Do you recognize the temple with its vast peristyle and the bitter lemons in which your teeth left prints, and the grotto, fatal to imprudent guests, where the antique seed of the vanquished dragon sleeps? They will return, these gods you still weep for. Time will bring back the order of ancient days. The earth has shuddered with a prophetic breath, and yet the Sibyl with the Latin visage still sleeps beneath the arch of Constantine, and nothing has disturbed the severe portico. Artemis. The 13th returns. It is the first again, and it is still the only one, or it is the only moment. For are you, O you, the first or final queen? Are you king, you, the only or the final lover? Love the one who loved you from the cradle in the bier. She whom alone I loved still loves me tenderly. She is death, or the dead woman. O delight, O torment, the rose that she holds, it's the hollyhock. Neapolitan saint with your hands full of fire, rose with the violet heart, flower of Saint Gudula. Have you found your cross in the desert of the heavens? White roses fall, you are insulting our gods. Fall white phantoms from your burning heaven. The saint of the abyss is saintlier to my eyes. To Madame Aguado, sapphire column embroidered with arabesques reappear. The ringdoves take flight from their nest. From your azure string course to your granite foot, unrolls in long folds the purple of Judea. If you see Benares leaning on its river, tear off with your bow your corset of burnished gold. For I am the vulture flying over Patani, and the sea is inundated with white butterflies. Lanasa, make your sails float on the waters. Deliver the purple flowers to the current of the streams. The snow of Cathay falls on the Atlantic. And yet the priestess with the rosy visage is still asleep beneath the solar arch, and nothing has disturbed the severe portico. I was seated singing at the feet of Michael. Mithras had closed his tent over our heads. The King of Kings was asleep on his dazzling couch, and both of us dreaming, we wept for Israel. When Tipu rose up in the burning cloud, 3 voices had cried vengeance at the edge of heaven. He recalled from on high my brother Gabriel and turned towards Michel, his blood-red eye pupil. Here comes the wolf, the tiger, and the lion. One is called Ibrahim, the second Napoleon, and the other Abd el-Kader, who roars in the powder, the sword of Alaric, Attila's sabre. They have them. My epi and my lance are there. But the Roman Caesar has stolen the lightning from us. To Hélène de Mecklenburg, Fontainebleau, May 1837. The old palace is waiting for the Saxon princess, who wants to save the children of the last of the Caputs. Charlemagne, attentive to her triumphant steps, calls to Napoleon, who is pardoned by Charles V. But 2 kings at the gate await in person. What is the memory that holds them trembling, so that the dead-eyed ancestor with slow steps walks away, disdaining to strike these fissures of the crown? O Medicis, can the times have been fulfilled? Your 3 filial threads have re-entered your great folded robe, but just one of them remains attached to your mantle. He is an all-feeble eaglet, forgotten by chance. He brings back the lightning to his father Caesar, and it is he who amassed the torment in the air. The next few come with footnotes, and I'll break off the poem to read the footnotes at each of the appropriate moments. Destiny. I am the tenebrous one, the disconsolate, widower, once Mausolus, the Prince of Aquitaine at the abolished tower. My only star is dead, and my constellated lute bears the black sun of melancholia. In the night of the tomb, you who have consoled me, give me back Posillipo and the Italian sea, the flower, the columbine, that so pleased my desolate heart, and the trellis where the vine branch and the rose ally. Gardens of the Vatican. Am I Amur or Phoebus, Lusignan or Biron? My brow is still red from the kiss of the Queen. Queen Candace, question mark. I have dreamed in the grotto where the siren swims, and twice victorious I have crossed Acheron, varying turn by turn on the lyre of Orpheus, the sighs of the female saint and the cries of the fairy. Melusine or mantle. Artemis. The 13th hour, pivotal. Returns, it is the first again, and it is still the only one, or it is the only moment. For is you, O you, the first or final queen? Are you king, you, the only or the final lover? Love the one who loved you from the cradle in the bier. She whom alone I loved still loves me tenderly. She is death or the dead woman. O delight, O torment, the rose that she holds, it's the hollyhock. Philomena. Neapolitan saint with your hands full of fire, rose with the violet heart flower of St. Gudula, have you found your cross in the abyss of the heavens? White roses fall, you are insulting our gods. Fall white phantoms from your burning heaven, the saint of the abyss. Rosalie is saintlier to my eyes. Erythrea. Sapphire column embroidered with arabesques, reappear, the ringdoves are weeping, seeking their nest, and from your azure foot to your granite brow unrolls in long folds the purple of Judea. If you see Benares, Ben Aries, the daughter of Mars, leaning on its river, take up your bow and put on your corset of burnished gold, for here is the vulture. Typhon, flying over Patani. Patna or Hierosolyma, the holy city. And the sea is inundated with white butterflies. Madewa, Mahadaway, the Zendover. Make your sails float on the waters. Deliver your purple flowers to the current of the streams. The snow of Cathay, Tibet, floats on the Atlantic. And yet the priestess, Amani, with the rosy visage, is still asleep beneath the solar arch, and nothing has disturbed the severe portico. Epitaph. He lived sometimes gay as a starling, turn by turn amorous, carefree and tender, sometimes sombre and dreamy, like a sad Clatandra. One day he heard someone knocking on his door. It was Death. So he asked her to wait till he had put the point on his final sonnet. And then, untroubled, he went to stretch himself in the bottom of the cold coffin, where his body shivered. He was lazy, as the story goes. He let the ink dry too often in the inkwell. He wanted to understand everything, but he knew nothing. And when the moment came, and tired of this life, one winter evening, at last his soul was taken from him, he departed saying, "Why did I come?